now for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? I wrong time to be testing buttons, right? What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. And make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them the BSJ sent you. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave a question or comment during today's program, by all means, please do so, and we will throw it up on the screen. And y'all know what's coming next. If you're one of them folks that wants to leave a question or comment that's indignant or ignorant in nature, won't be seen on this screen. Matter of fact, here's what you'll get.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from across the way, or should I say the other side of the pond, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say.
Well, I lost that thought with all the applause. That's all.
I'm just saying it's a new button, man. Somebody told me I need to try some new buttons. So sound effect, and you know what I'm trying to say? I got a couple more in here, but we've been getting flagged as of late, getting shows pulled down and such, from the man. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go in the lab and dig up some stuff that might not get us flagged. But anyway, tell us what you say. Oh, wait, who was that I just saw? No.
Production stuff. Production.
Oh, okay. Got you. I'm about to say, we got another newcomer to the program. Well, if you ain't got nothing to say, we're going to get things rolling. Let me try one of these buttons. Let me just pick one and see what it do.
We're totally getting flagged for that.
Okay, well, sorry. Anywho, let's start the show. Here's the rundown, baby, or show topics, as I might like to add or say here. Hopefully we get D Gully in here too, you know what I'm saying, at some point, before midnight. Well, who knows? Anywho, the Browns quarterback carousel. We're going to discuss that, obviously. The Browns got 57 quarterbacks in OTAs or whatever they call that right now, in summer camp or whatever they call it, and obviously all of the talk is surrounding, who throws the best spiral. Meanwhile, I'm gonna make a reference to what the Titans are doing with what's his name, Cam Ward, and why the Browns should be doing that with somebody. But anywho, Angel versus Clark. We talked about this last go round or whatever it is, and it's a whole lot of still back and forth, about black versus white and all that type of stuff. We're gonna dive into that a little bit more because I got something I want to say about that, in terms of basketball. But anywho, Pacers versus Thunder is currently going on. Double J, could you give us an update right quick on the score?
Sure can. We are at 70-52 in the favor of the Knicks. They blew this thing open in the third.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna get to that, and we're gonna get to some of this. Is Giannis still in Milwaukee, or is he on the move? You know what I'm trying to say? And then up first, I should like to put out here is about the SEC. That's right, college football talk now. This is the thing that got me, okay? Greg Sankey is the SEC commissioner. And I quote, because I'm asking this question. Let me ask the question first. Is the SEC on the verge of disbanding from the NCAA? Or are they on the verge of leaving the NCAA? Hey. Greg Sankey, again, SEC commish, and I quote, I have people in my room or in the room who are asking me, why are we still in the NCAA? Is the NCAA as an entity, is it done?
I think as it's currently formatted, yes. I think it is, for lack of a better term, it's dead.
Oh, well, it don't get no better terminologically speaking than that.
It just becomes a matter of there needs to be, again, we've talked about in football as an example. I used the verbiage recently of a commissioner, right? So in theory, some
What do
kind
you
of
mean the verbiage of commission? That's what he is. You talking about Greg Sankey? Oh, you talking about the NCAA?
I'm in referencing to the NCAA as
Okay.
a whole. So instead of we'll say a board style governing body, again, there needs to at least be one individual. But again, I'm referencing to one particular sport, right? So when you look at soccer, for an example, collegiate soccer is likely headed towards the professional ranks of what's known as a league called as USL2. As of 3 days ago, I'm sorry, 3 days, seven. You were allowed to gamble on USL2. For context, Aiden's coaches from last season are the coaching staff of a team called Oakland County FC out here. They would play the Cleveland Force. Sound familiar when we play the summer league?
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
Aiden typically
Kai
play
Hoskavy, Otto Orphan, them boys back in the day, baby. Champions, mind you.
Yep. And so now, again, you brought up I blew the door open with the gambling aspect, but as a whole, now you're already saying an additional governing body already is in existence because USL is its own league. So the NCAA teams like North Carolina, Virginia Tech, regardless of conference, are now in there playing against what we would otherwise say like people our age if we were capable.
Yeah.
Very different than just playing freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Man, people our age, tell me we were capable. Hold up there. First of all, you might be on stilts and Metamucil and all that good stuff, but your boy Jay got J work still.
Oh, okay. All right.
You better ask my son why he in there crying right now.
Oh.
Yeah, don't try no old head. You get embarrassed. I'm just saying. So let's say the SEC does dip. Is the Big Ten right? They on their heels?
Yeah.
Well, the SEC and the Big Ten do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? They gain their own independence, i.e., America, Britain, we all Tea Party, Christmas Act. We all know how that turned out, right? The NCAA, who's left? The small 12? I'm joking. The Big Nine? Who? Mount Union? John Carroll? Those are smaller universities here in Ohio. I'm just saying, what's left for the NCAA, bro? If the SEC, okay, let's say the SEC leads, but the Big Ten does not. Is that enough right there as a conference to keep the NCAA afloat as an entity? I know it's about 12 questions right there, but they just come sometime.
Well, again, as the current format of the NCAA, no, it's going to cease to exist. But now you're going to have to formulate something with those two particular power conferences in mind. Otherwise, this whole thing is
okay. So you can get away from quote unquote the title of what NCAA is, but you still need a governing body. But not really. The schools govern themselves.
Yeah, technically. And that's but here's where it can get really kind of in the weeds, right? Like what I brought up soccer on purpose because they would be the first to join a league that was already established before, right? So like if the Big Ten and SEC go and say, we're creating big SEC land.
Okay. Yeah.
Landia.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got you.
They get to make their own set of rules, right?
Creating like big football, so to speak. You know what I'm trying to say? Right. The big football brand.
Okay. Well, great. Now we've ratified this, circa 1776. But what about the other guys?
Okay, got you.
So who's
so if they have their own rules,
North Carolina,
what happens when you get the bowl games or whatever, or the playoff or whatever? Is that what you're trying to say? Maybe.
Well, even more than that's what I mean. It's absolutely far. There's so many layers to that there is a need for them, but the previous 100 years of how they operated is dead and gone.
Shout out to D Gully from the CLM bus. I'm glad you could join us. Shout out. Why are you making that face?
can't hear you. I can't hear.
Well, whose
we
fault
can't
is
hear
that?
you.
I can't hear.
Weak.
I can read lips though. I can read lips. I know what you said. I can read lips.
Why are you whispering? If you can't
I
hear,
can read
Yeah.
lips. I can read these. I can read lips. I can read
Okay,
lips.
so listen, hey man, listen. How many times you gonna say that,
Wait a
man? It's
minute.
people watching, bro. They don't want to
Wait a
watch your
minute.
teeth
Wait a minute.
whitener.
Every time.
Oh man, this
every
guy
day,
right here, man. My gosh, man.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, that seemed like the only thing. That I can read. I can read. Yeah, I can read. Huh? Yeah, I tell you what. I bet you won't be able to do all of that if you go up down there with them people in that gorilla. Yeah, but I thought you couldn't hear nothing, bro. Oh man, please. Anyway, okay, now you okay. Okay,
Whatever
all
you
right.
were saying.
Yeah, the he who.
I
Anyway.
told y'all, man. Come in, man. Just wait a minute. I'll give you the signal. Every time you just bring me right up on stage. You ain't finished wiping my nose or nothing.
You didn't say. Well, first of all, I'm glad you covered up your, covered up. You know what I'm saying? Anybody was.
You had like I got 36 double D's out here.
Hey, wait, I didn't say that.
wow. Nah, wait a minute.
You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
threaten us with a good time.
Absolutely. Ain't no be no purse carrying over here.
None.
Okay.
None at
Yeah.
all. No
Yeah.
pearls clutching, nothing.
Yeah, settle down there, Stephon Diggs, handing out pink crystals. I'm just saying and getting called. I mean, anywho. Anyway, I asked Double J about the SEC. Okay. Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, said he got people asking him, like, why is the SEC still a part of the NCAA? So if the SEC dips, is Ohio State dipping with them or not? And then what happens to the NCAA as an entity?
Well, I think the NCAA lost its trust from the universities at governing the college athlete.
Governing,
okay. Yeah, the college
governing.
Yeah. Okay. Say it again.
I'm Mr. Grammarly today.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Scripps National Spelling Bee Finals is on. You should pay attention.
Bro, don't play with me. I won a couple. What happened? Don't do that. Don't do that.
He look at me, befuddled.
Yeah, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, spell befuddled.
Yeah. What?
Spell the word stammering.
NBA. Because that's what we seeing on display from some of these games yesterday and tomorrow. Say,
listen,
man, come on, man, don't play with me, man. But go ahead and finish your thought, man.
Yeah, as far as the NCAA is concerned, their ability, they've lost the trust of the universities and of the conferences at being able to govern the student athlete anymore. So with all of the money that's pouring into the athletes directly now in college football, why do we need another entity to create and manage any aspect of our university's college athletics?
Okay, and I'm glad you said something in that. You said monies.
Yes.
And I didn't even think about it when Double J was having his say on this a little bit ago. How much monies, Double J, if you're listening, you might answer this because I don't know. That's why I'm literally asking this question.
Okay.
The monies associated with the NCAA, from wherever they come from, I don't know, don't care, but they get monies every year, right?
Right.
Okay. They generate revenue. They make, off the tournaments, off of merchandise sales, whatever. The NCAA, they got monies coming in. If they are no longer in existence, where then do those monies go? To the university?
They stay with the university. They stay with the university, or what may happen is but
the reason why I'm asking that because all of the money that the NCAA takes in, it does not just come from the universities, right? It just can't come. That's not the only source.
Well, the universities pay some, there's something coming from the universities, and then the NCAA itself, they get revenue probably from licensing deals and things of that nature. So it has an enterprise itself.
And that's what I'm asking. If they are no longer a registered trademark, so to speak, then they lose any and all whatever accessories.
Yeah, but it's literally off the backs of the universities themselves. What I mean by that is,
okay. So
let me present it in the form of a question. What has the NCAA itself done for Alabama's football program?
except dole out punishments and so on and so forth,
Right.
or say
So what I
who
mean,
can
right.
and who
So-
can't get in the portal and all that type of stuff.
So what has the NCAA done to benefit the Ohio State University? Like I'm asking a question, like just like you're asking a question, it's not necessarily it's not a rhetorical question or a question I'm saying to make a
but
point.
it's one to ponder.
It's one to ponder, right? So if you don't have, so what we
According to
go
Chat BBL, the NCAA.
Hey, what kind of L?
Wait a
Oh, that's
minute.
an L.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Wait
Oh
a
my
minute.
gosh.
Wait a
Oh
minute.
my gosh.
Wait.
Oh my gosh. Shot clock
Slow
violation.
me down.
Wait
Oh
a
my
minute.
goodness. Wow, man. Tell me what you
Woo.
doing here. You know what I'm saying? What happened?
All right. So now that I have your attention, according to AI,
Thank you.
1.4 billion is distributed to the schools and conferences. 60% of that is the championship operations gets 20%, so that it's funding for 90 plus NCAA championships, not including FBS football. So again,
That ain't no BS right there.
admin costs is 10%, and then legal and insurance and reserve funds is 10%.
Dang. Okay, so again, if the NCAA is no longer in existence, all of those numbers go where?
Well, I think it would just matter, or it would be redirected, more than likely utilized in the same caliber or way.
As NIL or whatever?
Well, remember, NIL is completely separate.
That's right. That's right. That's
yep.
a collective or something or another or whatever the case may be, right?
It's a slush fund created by a combination of boosters and
Okay,
brands.
got you.
And so,
well, my gosh, if that's the case, I didn't know that. Then how much of the impact that boosters have?
Bro,
that they're putting in
Kelly,
all
do
this
you
money in,
remember-
and some of these deals, these players are getting are like 2.3 million, 1.5 million. So how many players are getting millions? And then I just go to tell you how many more millions are come. How much money do these boosters have? Did they all go to Harvard, Cornell, Yale? What the hell? I'm just saying.
Well, it certainly it reiterates the point of knowing your value, certainly, or going into energy, or just simply throwing $5,000 at the energy sector. Likely won't go wrong. And like ask Arch Manning's dad. In short here, these guys, where we would go next is shifting reallocation of those funds to some kind of other entity.
Right.
Now, this is where we're kind of already heading that way, which is to Barbershop Jay's point, and to mine earlier, Gully, where I said its pre-existing format of the previous 100 years is dead. We're now reaching a stage where, based on the antitrust lawsuit, that a lot of those funds are going to be distributed at the discretion of athletic directors. So
hey,
again,
speaking of antitrust, did you ever see that movie with Ryan Felipe and Tim Robbins?
Philippe.
Okay, Felipe, it's an E on the end. Hey, I took Tad Lad, Leapfrog, Leap Pad.
wait,
The
Ryan
one dog
Phillippe
does the talking.
Ryan
Felipe.
Yeah, I said it wrong too. There you
Yeah,
go.
you said it. Well,
Thank
then
you.
don't be trying to
Double
correct
check.
nobody and you uncorrected. Don't play with me. You uncorrectable self. You know what I'm trying. And then it's the way he did it. Like, yeah, all demonstrative. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like get your life together. That's what it is. And you was dead wrong too.
I'm dead wrong. I
You
think
know what
couldn't
I'm
be
saying?
more
Yeah.
wrong.
You can't be. Yeah, don't
Don't
stick your chest out trying to correct somebody and your chest hair is
Man, listen.
yeah, they falling off. Man,
Yeah, I'm gonna
stop
put
it,
myself
bro.
in the penalty box on that one.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, right, got you. Now, what was I? Anyway, did you ever see the movie? How about that?
No.
Oh, wow. Did you ever see Marauders?
Midnight Marauders from A Tribe Called Quest. And the Mercury Marauder, which was actually a really good vehicle by Mercury.
I was just going to say that. Okay, you talking
Had
cars right now.
Mustang engine.
Yeah,
correct?
the Indianapolis 500. Okay, we get it. The Brickyard 4000 and all of that. We get it. iRacing. but stay out of my lane. That's my lane. Anywho, yeah, if you ain't seen the movie, check it out. With Ryan Felipe and Tim Robbins. Did I say that right? Or has he not got an S on the end? Or is it a French S? Or is it the S at Michigan State? The one that they all up there, the one that they all up there kissing. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the NCAA again is hypothetically out, right?
Right.
The SEC comes up with its own rules, but to Double J's point, they still would have to have some sort of governing body. But now here's the thing.
What do you mean? What do you mean by some sort of governing?
Hold on, because you know my memory, like the transmission on 68 Buick has
it.
been sitting in the garage too long. My mind be slipping, so you got to let me get this out, right? So let's say the SEC and the Big Ten get together and perform or get this new league, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to set the rules. I think that to Double J was saying something sort of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, if I remember correctly, because I got a book on the NCAA, but I don't have it in front of me, and it's been a while since I last read it. The NCAA was put together because a lot of what was going on early on in college football, guys were dying or whatever the case. So they themselves got to set the rules.
Right.
If the SEC and the Big Ten get together, or SEC by itself, and they set the rules now, how much different do you think that those rules will be versus what the NCAA rules are? You get what I'm trying to say? So in other words, the Greg Sankeys of the world, they say, okay, we had to abide by somebody else telling us what was illegal or not, what's legal and not legal, right? Now we get to determine that because we are our own league, if you will, like the UFL. If I'm
right.
Okay, got you, right. So will those rules be any less different? How much different do you think those rules would be than what was established by the NCAA when NCAA's
I think the player safety rules, I don't know where the colleges and universities had a big disagreement in terms of player safety rules. But again, I think it's about that NIL. And
well, yeah, that ain't going nowhere though. You're gonna have to adapt.
And it's inability, right? And the NCAA's inability to manage the chaos or the upheaval of the traditional college path because of NIL. I think it's like, what am I paying you for? It's like I've been paying for protection all these years. What am I paying you for? I still got to pay out and I still lose every time I have to contest or I have to challenge something that's been, every time I'm challenged in terms of how we regulate, where players can get scholarships or not or what have you. So that being said, I think some of the player safety rules may come about, may retain, but it'll be about organizing so that way they can better handle how to adjust the money. My question is, what do you consider a national champion?
Ooh.
Or all the schools are going to, or is it just going to be an AFC, NFC, a Big Ten conference, and a SEC and the rest of the college football division?
Independent?
Or independence, yeah. How do you manage that? You got a 12-team playoff. Remember, it is called the College Football Playoff. They are
like it's called the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's inclusive of college and professional type of deal, right?
What I'm saying is right. The College Football Playoff, just like the BCS, which it took me a while to kind of understand this. That is its own enterprise. The college football play, yeah. So the BCS, the Bowl Championships, the BCS is an organization. It wasn't like the name of what the NCAA created for the play. Yeah, yes. So the BCS was like an organization. It was an organized committee, if you will.
Yeah. They got paid separate from the NCAA. They didn't get that.
Itself was an entity. It wasn't simply the name it wasn't simply just the name or the structure for how they determined national champions. It was a committee, BCS committee. That's how they voted for who competes. College football playoff.
So they got what do you call it? Oh, what do you call it? Stationery with the letterheads and stuff on it. You know what I'm saying? They don't, when they send it out, they don't say NCAA.
Right. All right, hold on. Yeah, so
Okay, then right quick, while you're looking at whatever you're looking, just want to ask you, did you all see the cover for 2K NCAA football that's getting ready to come out
No,
2026?
I didn't see the cover of it. Who was in it?
It's Ohio State and
Yep.
Alabama. A guy from Ohio State and a guy from Alabama on the cover. Why has Alabama got to be on the cover?
Why not? Because who were we just discussing? What were we just discussing?
I know that.
Just two
Bruh.
hot potatoes ago. What were we
Bruh.
just discussing?
No, it was
We were discussing the Big Ten, and you started the discussion off in here with the SEC. No matter what Georgia has done in this last half decade,
it's gonna always be about Alabama.
Exactly.
Double J, stop messing with the camera.
And no matter
This guy
what's
here.
happened.
Hey,
Supreme.
oh, Snappy Doo. Hey. What it do? What's up there, Serenitary? All right. Excuse me, Serenity. Sorry about that.
No,
We
no
do a little
problem.
play on words here. I'm still kind of a little thrown off by. Hold on, Gully. Double J, why do you keep changing the camera angles?
Because we have reels and we have socials that we're going to go to after this. So this is a prep and primer for moving the socials.
Yay, shout out again there, baby. You understand
Appreciate
me?
it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Okay, but even still, stop changing the doggone camera every 13 seconds.
That's not for you.
But the people watching, bro, they don't want to listen. Ain't nobody come here to try to solve no Rubik's Cube.
Why not?
Man, you got the
Why
NBA
not?
playoffs.
Like, it's the whole Brady Bunch vibe, bro.
Oh, okay, here you go. Well, who you looked at me like, who I'm supposed to be, Marsha or something? Don't look at me like that. Bro, don't.
Yeah,
hey,
Double
put me
J,
on
this is getting kind of
yeah,
kind of
Double J,
crazy.
stop, man.
Yo, Super Mario 64.
Yeah, I was trying to put it back.
Yeah, don't touch nothing else.
Touch it.
Mrs. Alba, take the shot glass away from him. My gosh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, but no, for real though, man. I quite enjoy Rubik's Cube. Yeah, me too. But don't nobody eyes want to be rolling around their head because this guy can't keep the camera angles solidified. My gosh, you know what I'm trying to say? Come on, 7. Ain't nobody. This ain't the craps table at whatever that place is in Vegas.
Jack
I ain't never
Casino?
been at. Yeah, I ain't never been at. Yeah, okay, but man, as far as the NCAA SEC thing, I want to see it. I think the NCAA should have been gone. So stay tuned for that. But back to the 2K cover, NCAA football cover.
Yes.
Like, bruh, why Alabama got to be on the cover? Ohio State, let me say again, can't stand a football team.
Right. You're gonna have to put the defending national champions on the team.
No, that's what I'm even saying. If anybody deserved to be on that cover, it should have been what it should have been is, you know how when you win the championship or Super Bowl, whatever it is, when you win that it's maybe a few guys in the picture stand up there on the podium or someone else, and it's always a picture of that moment.
Yes.
Put that on the cover, bruh.
Yeah,
Alabama been crying, and no disrespect to them, they was a powerhouse once a time, but it's like if they don't get their way, ain't everybody in the way. No, bro. Yeah. Come on, bro. No, I'm talking about. Listen, why? Okay, if that's the case, who was the runner-up? Who did Ohio State beat in the national championship? Notre Dame, right?
Yeah.
Notre Dame is about as storied an institution as there is. If you're gonna do that,
you could have put the Final Four on the cover. Be honest with you.
Okay, I don't know what button I got for that, but I'm gonna try one. Okay, sorry. Oh my goodness! Woo, I'm giving myself the wrong buttons over here, baby. The wrong buttons. Woo, you don't do that on the weekend. Yeah, but come on, man. I get it, man. And this ain't no knock against Alabama, man. But why you trying? That's Ohio State's moment, bruh. On everything, right, man. Right. And as much as I can't stand them, I still got to tip my hat to them. Ohio State, that is, begrudgingly. Every time there's an inaugural champion chip of champions, they always win the first one.
Yeah, basically the format changes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you all over here doing in this private chat, but I tell you what, y'all gonna cut it back. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? You know what? After all of that little shenaniganizing right there, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit more. I don't know. No, we're gonna talk a little bit more NCAA football. The heck with that. SEC take over, baby. Ohio State, but they should be on the cover. We're gonna talk some NBA basketball playoffs and where's Giannis going, if anywhere. Holla at your boy. Don't you touch it. Put it down.
It's K Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Homie Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report. My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report. Oh, you're Jay Nolly, you're watching the Shop Report. It's Braxton Key, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Man, works at Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Josh Tolley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching the Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
Hey, this is Herman Harvey, former NFL offensive lineman with the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens, and you're listening to the Shop Report.
Oh, I did it again. We are back. I'm trying out some new buttons and sound effects, y'all. So bear with me, okay? I ain't got a grasp on things right now. Let's get to some of this little basketball talk. We got a little WNBA and a little bit of NBA playoffs. But I do want to ask the question first again. Is Giannis gone? And if so, if you think that be the case, where is he going to? Double J, if you change them doggone cameras one more time, it's supposed to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing. Don't do it. Nobody's there. Hello. Somebody got to be there. I'm hearing background noise. This is unbelievable. Well, I'm telling y'all right now. If Giannis do go anywhere, I hope wherever it is, Doc Rivers ain't nowhere in the building. I really hope that, because I'm here to tell y'all at the end of the day, Doc
Celtics.
Rivers. Huh?
The latest is suggesting the Celtics are the most possible on his short list, essentially.
But that don't. Okay, that's not complimentary.
You don't think so? I think
you know what?
I think
Al
the
Horford
Knicks
to the
would have
bench.
been actually a bad fit. I mean, they may have been a great fit in every other sense of the way. But
why would the Knicks be a bad fit?
Look, I get it. They're going to win by 20 today. That's fine. However, when
we're gonna get to that.
When you dive into that, look, I pointed it out in the Discord, and when you insert somebody like Giannis into a system and style of play like that, to your point, it is not complimentary.
But I'm thinking of matchups, so to speak, and positions, even though we're in an era of positionless basketball, but everybody want to do top 5 quarterbacks and top 5 point guards. But anyway, it's almost sort of like the post office. You know, post office is government when they want them to be government. You get what I'm trying to tell you. So positionless, positionless. Oh my gosh. Positionless basketball is only positionless when it's the mood suits. You get what I'm trying to tell you? But then it's a position again when the mood suits. All right. I just don't see it. I could see New York more so than I could him fitting with the Celtics.
Did you feel like Porzingis was a great fit when the move initially occurred?
But you're asking, is Giannis a center? Giannis don't play the 5, do we?
No.
Well, so then what are you saying? Him for Porzingis?
You look at both teams attempt to space the floor, whether it's with Brunson.
Oh, yeah, to leave the middle wide open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, all right, see? it's perspective, because I would, as much as I talk about it, I wasn't on that street. Now I'm on that street. Okay, now I got a different type of visual. Ooh. Whoa. Can you picture that? What do you do with Al Horford, though? Bring him off the bench at 4,900 years old?
That's just it. And she'll like it too.
Yeah, okay. All right, hey. That button is right. I've been using that one more than anything else here. Let's see. I'm going to go through and see what we got here. Let's see what we got.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, that's a staple. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, let's.
One eternity later.
I didn't even know I added that, but now that I do.
Oh man, I wish we had control of that with this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Anywho, I don't think Giannis is going nowhere, bro. He just don't strike me as that type of dude, man. He almost kind of Joker-ish in a sense. Did I say that out loud? Maybe I did. Okay. Yeah, in a sense. You know what I mean? Joker appreciates his ability to play basketball in the NBA, but he probably used his monies, man, for his country. You know what I mean? He probably got some nice stuff or whatever the case may be, but Joker probably not, he's not looking to get the bag or be like Odell Beckham, rolling up on the scene with, Mr. T type chains on, you know what I mean, with his neck all down here because they so heavy or whatever. You don't seem to care. And Joker don't strike me as that type of dude. He care about winning, I believe. You know what I'm saying? But not all necessarily the sensationalism, and the popcornish, and the pageantry that go along with it. He just want to win, bro. He want to be able to say, when they having that conversation, him be in it. You know what I mean? More so than he is now having won.
Oh no, my bad. Yeah, thank you. The money's
my bad.
have already, now that the bag is secured, you still have a passion for competing. And players like Giannis.
That's kind of lightweight rare.
Yes, correct.
Nowadays.
Yeah. To be able to compete, that hunger, that drive to compete and play at the highest level, knowing that competition at that level and at that rank is what we as fans appreciate. So there is something.
Well, it depends on the type of fan. There's 14 different types of fan nowadays. Okay, when we all used to be on the same page once upon a time. Now you got the fans who show up to the thing just because it's an event. They're called the eventists.
But wait,
you know what I mean?
You mean to tell me that you believe that there's a segment of the fan base that actually doesn't appreciate fierce competition?
No, I'm saying it's a portion of the fan base that just go to the games just because they at the game, because what they can say they went to the game that Giannis dropped 50.
All right.
You get what I'm trying to say? Then you got some who, when they go at the game, in other words, I'm gonna just put it in layman's terms. You got the popcorn fan and you got the pen and pad fan.
Okay.
Which do you think there is more of? Which variety of in 2025? Yeah, that's right. Cue the Jeopardy music. I don't even have that button.
I think there's I think just because of the way population has grown, you're gonna have more casuals.
Okay, you can have 1 million people, but that don't mean that can't nobody pick up a book and study up on what it is that they seeing and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give me a reason when I'm having a conversation with you. The NFL thing, I'm gonna give you an example. Just remember I was saying this when I had a conversation about what's coming out your mouth in the substance, whether it's style or substance.
Okay.
Detroit fan man, shout out D. I don't even have my buttons no more. They rearranged my buttons earlier today. So
just like the cameras, huh?
Yeah, I don't stop with the cameras. Detroit fan man says, thanks for doing the show tonight, boys. The Pacers next game has been remarkably boring. As for Giannis, my money is on him going to Texas, either Rockets or Spurs. Ooh. I was just
one of them.
I was just getting ready to ask that type of questionnaire, type of situation. Yeah, and saying, was he going down there to Texas? Hee ha.
Either one of them, I think instantly becomes a title championship contender as built. Either one.
Okay, but now wait a minute. Now hold up there. Slow down the fort there, little Kimo Sabin. You going off paper. because it's a whole lot of rosters that you could say are paper champions, but you still got to play it out. And I'll be the first one to tell y'all, the referees are going to be the referees. My gosh, if you're not of the mindset before you watch a game that it's going to be some cheating or some suspect, then stop acting surprised. Okay, go read Tim Donaghy's book, Personal Foul, and you won't watch an NBA game or an NFL game or any sport event that you do watch, and you won't be surprised. You'll be like, oh, okay, so he didn't call it. It was obvious, but he didn't call it. Okay, move on to the next play. Can we please do that? Have that in mind. Please. Bruh, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if that guarantee no shit for San Antonio.
Bro, for San Antonio?
Okay, give me the starting lineup then. Give it to me. Who your point?
You're gonna have De'Aaron Fox, you have Wemby, and you have Giannis.
So you're gonna ask Giannis to play the 3?
No, Giannis will be at the 4. Wemby be at the 5.
So Castillo is Castillo the shooting guard?
Yeah, right. You had De'Aaron Fox in.
Fox, I know, is the point.
Yeah,
I think you offload Fox, dude. Stephen Castle is phenomenal.
That's what I thought. I thought Stephen Castle was he coming off the bench at point guard.
Yeah, okay. So if you
did very well in the prop with him.
Huh?
He was a prop king for me.
That's what I do. That just, and that's something when we talk about the Browns quarterback carousel type of stuff, whatever it is. You know, I've been listening to a couple of local talk shows here in regards to that. When we get to that, man, because I don't understand.
Wait.
Huh?
So I can't wait.
Yeah, because I don't understand it. Why go get a guy to just jettison the guy in 10 minutes later? I don't understand that. Why go get Fox, a point guard of his caliber?
You said with the prospect and them bringing Giannis in. See, that's different. You don't jettison him to help. You don't send them off to help.
Oh, you're saying in terms of being a part of an acquisition of the deal.
Yeah,
a piece to the acquisition of Giannis is what you're saying.
Yeah, if that's the case, if it's Giannis, then you do. Otherwise, you have a guy entering his prime right there with Wemby. So you have some years on that. And you know what I'm saying? You have a team that you can conceivably build with. Yeah. And there you have your 2 key anchors. You have 2 of your key anchors on that team. But if you say Giannis, who's in his prime now, and it would cost you having to deal De'Aaron Fox, I think I might make that acquisition, because what Giannis does is not only give you his ability, but he also adds depth to your bigs. And even though we're in the era of small ball, Giannis,
no, small ball is about to be over with.
It's about to be right, because we look at what we see from Chet Holmgren and the like. Look at how Julius Randle's been playing up until they met.
Don't mention that name.
Hold on.
Don't mention that name.
Up until they met Oklahoma City. Well, figure this. Who would have thought that the Knicks and the Timberwolves would be in the conference finals, having traded for each other?
Well, who's surprised? Nobody surprised at the Knicks, and I'm not surprised that the Knicks and the Wolves
got to the conference finals trading for each other like this.
Well, I mean, I ain't making that connection to why I'm not surprised they both in the conference finals.
Nah, I think.
I mean, whoever traded for who. I'm just saying they was in it. They've been in the thick of it the last couple of years, both of them, ain't they?
Well, yeah, last year.
What we looking at here? This is the potential trade. Oh, okay, hold up. You know, I can't. You got to maximize it on my side.
How the deal would get done.
Oh, okay. Well, Double J, you throwing it up here, so explain to us, how would the deal get done?
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, y'all see this. Don't tell him nothing.
Yeah, how does that deal get done?
Yeah, how does that deal get done, Double J? Could you tell us? This time when you tell us, can we get some audio?
Yeah, Harrison Barnes got to go.
Can we get? There we go. Yeah, shout out. Thank you. Oh, hey. I like that button. I'm gonna start using that. I'm gonna add one of my cereal.
Harrison Barnes.
Double J, instead of scrolling, you just camera rolling today. What's going on?
There we go.
All right. You put it up here. Explain to us how this deal could potentially, or this potential deal could get done.
Absolutely. So
Please
to
and thank
Gully's
you.
point, Gully was suggesting Harrison Barnes would make the money work. Again, both of these teams are not favorable with the cap. So in terms of luxury tax, you're seeing a tale of two different stories here. So if we tried it, the trade would go through.
Okay, so I was just going to say, show us, because, in layman's terms, because a lot of people out there that look at this stuff and they, can't make no sense of it, so to speak. So tell us, these are the two players. Give us the player names that would have to be included in the deal for Giannis. And I'm looking at here, De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes. Is that what you're saying here?
Absolutely.
These two guys could get Giannis over to San Antonio.
Correct. And naturally, what everyone would, of course, be him, everyone would be a buzz for the wrong reasons, especially if you're a Milwaukee fan, with just that haul of Fox and Barnes, because largely off the premise that currently you still have a point guard and Damian Lillard on the roster.
Yeah, but guess what? Damian Lillard might be listed as a point guard, but he plays more like a shooting guard.
Initially,
you could move him to the 2.
Allen Iverson.
Allen AI was a point guard though, bro, who could shoot. Dame Lillard, with all due respect, Dame time and all that, he got away with it in Portland because we really didn't get to see a lot of his games. You get what I'm trying to say? Mostly you had to catch SportsCenter to see him hit one of them big shots and then hit the watch motion and all of that. But in Milwaukee, more so that's East Coast now. We get to see more of his games here in Ohio and whatnot, right? So I'm like, man, he lightweight, one-dimensional. Because my barometer for any player. If you tell me that there's one thing that whatever player does well, I would ask you, when he's not doing that thing, or when that one thing he does well is not there that night, what else does he bring to the table?
Whoa, Drew Holiday got $30 million for 4 years.
Okay,
would Milwaukee take him back?
What?
Yeah.
How you know? Budenholzer ain't there no more.
Because Drew Holiday is what they were missing.
Nobody want to play for Doc Rivers, man, but y'all.
Right.
And then the next obvious question, right? Because this is very realistic here. You see, the money is almost dead on.
Ooh-wee.
So wait. Oh, but yeah, okay, but listen. But here's the thing, though. Dame is coming off. That injury is major.
Yeah.
So in order for this to happen, somebody got to want who you giving up or trying to get rid of in order to get. If don't nobody really want Dame, add in the injury, then add in the fact that he, dare I say, one-dimensional, good at it, great at it, but one-dimensional. Who gonna want him?
Well, he put Jaylen Brown.
Oh man, the Celtics ain't coming above Jaylen Brown. You can forget that. You can forget.
All right, so Barbershop Jay, make the money work. Would they take Drew Holiday and whom?
First of all, anytime you mention me and talking about money working, bruh, I'm gonna show y'all how much I got to my name right now. Because you know what I'm saying? You do this all the time, okay? This is what I got to my name. Got 11 cents. So now I'm trying to make $1 out of this, and you talking about making money's work, and people got millions. I'll leave you, okay? Well, I'm over here trying to scrunch up the comp
change. To run payroll, so that might be 11 more than I got.
Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, I'm just letting you talking about make the money work. I ain't even got no doggone money. You got 11 cents over here trying to make $1. You talking about making millions work? I don't even know. I can spell it, but I ain't never smelt it. Whoa, slow it down there, little tiger. Slow it on down. Yeah, but where y'all going at that? Let me get some of this other stuff right here too, right quick. Okay, what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. The money work when the money works. Excuse me. Right now, can we get another update in that Pacers Knicks? Or is it even worth updating?
It's over.
Okay. So answer me this question, because I got a couple of questions about this Knicks Pacers.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much done and dusted. I would say 15-point lead with 6 minutes to go. It's not.
Remember the Knicks had a 4,800 point lead with a minute left to go in game 1 and lost by.
I will tell you this:
if Dirk was down 15 points with 6 minutes left to go versus the big three.
Yeah, because speaking of the big three, just a minute ago, we talking about San Antonio, Giannis, and all of that. Well, I thought the big three was dead. But that's essentially what you're going to have. If Giannis go to San Antonio, him, Wemby, and Cass, and that ain't no big three.
Right.
No, okay. I'm just saying. Anyway, come back. We'll come back here. The Knicks, bro, come on, bro. We've seen them do it. But what I don't understand is, why do the Knicks have to be stumped a mud hole in the ground before they start coming back round? You can't even blame the refs for that.
It happens, bro.
So let's preview the finals right quick. Let's say hypothetically, it's the Thunder and the Pacers. The Thunder and the Pacers, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask this question.
Sign Reggie Miller because they're gonna win a ring.
Which okay.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
Who gonna win a ring? Who gonna win a ring?
The Pacers make it to the finals. Listen, Pacers make it to the finals. Sign Reggie Miller because they're gonna win the title.
What'd you just say? The Pegasus makers? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
First.
Yeah, the Pegasus.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, the Pegasus makers.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
sign. Listen, they need to sign Reggie Miller.
Hey, this ain't gonna age well. Guarantee. This is him doing this in between eating pistachios. Anytime he eat pistachios, I did do something to his brain because he get to jumping out of the tree plane. At 56,000 feet with no parachute.
You heard it here first. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the chat where we said it.
Yeah, put it in there. Yeah, I've been wondering why the little private chat been popping up. You put it in there. You put all the stuff I said in there, but I don't know. But I'm gonna say this though. Which team has been battle tested throughout the playoffs thus far? Should we get to that finals with Thunder and Pacers?
It would have been the Pacers.
No. Huh? It's the Thunder. Okay. Okay, how many? Let me rephrase it then.
Don't rephrase it. You don't need to rephrase anything.
Yes, don't tell me what I need to do. You ain't. I'm your elder. I'm your elder. You don't tell me what I need to do. How you gonna tell me what to do? Don't definitize. Man, please.
You're framing a lot of words, but you ain't saying nothing.
Okay, well, guess what though? It's gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing. There ain't gonna be no words to talk about. How about that?
Hey, listen.
Hey,
you ain't your little Guardians uniform.
You ain't saying
your Guardians uniform. Y'all both Central Division losers. Y'all can get off of the listen.
I know you ain't talking with your little fake Hulk T-top tank top on that you had on last week. You sound constipatory right now. Anywho,
how you gonna say that the Pacers haven't been battle tested?
What I'm saying to you is, did the Pacers go to a game 7 in any series that they played in thus far in these playoffs? Just curious. That's why I said I wanted to rephrase it. You know what I'm saying? But you jumped all and cut the line.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? You're a habitual line crosser.
The fact that they haven't had to go to a game 7 has nothing to do with the fact of how they won their game 6s.
I didn't say that.
5s.
I didn't
you
say
don't
that.
have to go 7 to be battle tested.
No, I didn't say no.
Yes, you did. That's exactly what you implied. Because they went 7 against Jokic and all them, and they went 7 games against the Nuggets. That means that they battle tested. No, bro, you don't have to.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Alba. Shout out to Mrs. Alba. Yeah, I'm giving the laugh button, but not for you, for him. Thank you, Mrs. A. I'm okay. Well, let me rephrase it then. Well, you should have just let me get my
rephrasing it. You just don't like the answer. ChatGPT keep trying to rephrase the question. Look at him, Chat. He don't like the result. Chat, please give me the answer with less dialogue. Please rephrase it. No, you go ahead. Go ahead, bro. It's gonna be the same thing.
All right. Double J over there got some clear Hennessy, I see. Anywho, none of that on the program. What I'm saying to you is, okay, well, then let me rephrase it for the 14th time then. OKC.
What is your name? What is your first name? What is your given name? What is the name they call you most commonly? It's the same question.
Dang, man. You settle down. Your chest hair is going to catch on fire. Oh, my God. And I
bro.
And I
I
said,
changed.
King
I don't have no
Kong
chest
ain't got,
hair.
and then I. You gonna mess around and
No,
break
go
something?
ahead. Rephrase the same question so I can give you the same answer yet again.
No,
go ahead.
Double
Remix
J.
the question. You know how the albums used to go back in the 90s. Used to have the mix. It used to be original mix, the 808 remix, the jazz remix, the instrumental remix, the Ace Boogie remix. Go ahead. You keep remixing.
Well, and that was how they were able to sell those singles in there.
Right, because
Okay, but I tell you what they want. I tell you what they want. First of all, if you was remixing, it was worthy of being remixed. And I'll tell you what they wasn't. They wasn't one-hit wonders. Yeah, somebody watching you rock well. Anywho, like I'm saying, yeah, somebody always watching me. If it wasn't for Michael Jackson, that song is not a hit. And you keep it up, you're gonna get hit. Okay.
All right, remix the question again.
What I'm saying to you
Aren't they related? Well, who is he related to? Rockwell.
He's the guy, Gordy's son.
The guy with the tank top on right there in the middle.
Anywho, Town. All right.
He's Red Fool's older brother.
Who you calling the fool? Boy, don't make me come across this computer screen.
See that? Party rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Party rocking.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is the Thunder with the depleted Nugget squad, and I say depleted because the Joker really had no one to spell him any. When Joker would go, when who was the coach for the Nuggets now? Ted Stepien, because there ain't no telling. They change coaches so much now in the NBA these days. But anyway, anytime Joker would come out the game for a rest, he didn't even go sit down in the chairs they got over there. He just went to the scorer's table because he knew he was coming right back in the game. I'm just saying. And OKC with a Joker, that's a testament to Joker and how tough he really is. They had their hands full. The Pacers, with all due respect, if I get my son on here, he'll tell y'all. Now we talking, he tell y'all.
Wait a minute. I'm going to send him an invite. My bad.
Okay, we'll send an invite. With all due respect to Halliburton, because Halliburton is balling. You don't have the statistical production stat line, whatever you want to call it, that he had in that last game with no turnovers, and that's not impressive. I'm sorry, it is. Right. But I said to him before this series started, I said, bruh, I noticed something. Why? Because they got to watch film. Teams do not close off Halliburton's airspace early.
Right.
When they do, when he got to really work for offense, he still can get you, but when he got to work for offense, it don't have the same complexion as it do when you're giving him the space. And I guess that would be for anybody. Well, not really, because when I played for the Sixers, I'm just saying, they left me wide open. They just sag off me. You know what I'm saying? Brick
self-check.
Whatever. Anywho, I'm just saying. But let's say it's Pacers Thunder. Who would you pick to win?
I told you the Pacers.
I'm telling you
the Pacers.
Man, you was just joking. You could have just been joking.
Why couldn't I have been joking? Why can't I be serious?
I don't know why you couldn't have been joking because you were joking.
The fact that they defensively scheme as well as OKC.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so let me ask you this then. If I did, let's say that series play is going to be the finals, right? And I said prior to, let's do a side-by-side type of, how they do a categorical thing with the categories in the middle and then both teams on either side, right? No, I ain't talking about the match. I'm talking about they say this team won the rebound margin or offensive rebound margin, that type of deal, right?
Yep.
However many, let's say we go through the whole alphabet. A would be for this, B for B, that type of deal, right? By the time you got to 26, bro, I guarantee there will be 13 for that team and 13 for the other team. Because there will be enough green boxes checked for the Thunder winning as would it be for the Pacers winning.
Okay.
Because both of them have a household name.
All right.
Okay. They both go deep into their bench.
Right.
They both have enough of a defensive presence. Boy, say that fast 2 times. That could matter, right?
Yep.
And they got guys who the others can hurt you.
Okay.
I get it. Indiana, early in the first half of this game, I was watching it. The bench had 17 points and the starters had 17 points. That's balance. So I ask you, when you watch the Thunder play, do they not play with an offensive balance?
The Thunder does.
When you watch the Pacers play, do they not play with an offensive balance?
They do.
When you watch the Thunder and the Pacers play on the other side of the ball, do you see Swiss cheese?
No.
Can Miles Turner hurt you?
Yeah.
Can Chet Holmgren hurt you?
Absolutely.
Can Hartenstein hurt you? And I ain't even talking about offensively. I'm talking about what the extra rebounds, the Dennis Rodman effect, whatever.
Yeah. Extra possessions.
They do all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lou Dort and Jalen Williams and whoever else they got, the Caruso.
Yep.
Bruh. I'm going on record right now. If that's the finals, get ready. It's gonna be a good one. It's going 7 games.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying seriously. Look at it from a basketball perspective. Look at it both teams. What does one team do so much better than the other with whatever category you're looking at? It's really a wash all the way down the board. Halliburton can hurt you. Mathurin had 20 points in 9 minutes or whatever it was, 9 seconds. I don't know. Bro, when you look at both of them, you be like, I'm scratching my head trying to figure out who got the advantage. Can you say maybe if that's the case, the Thunder play a little bit better defense up top? You know what I'm saying? The perimeter defense is a little bit better, but the Pacers, bro. And then Carlisle and my man over there, the coach of the year. Yeah. Come on, bro. Everywhere you look, bro, if you give one to the Pacers, you got to give one to the Thunder. If you give one to the Thunder, you got to give one to the Pacers.
I understand that, and I don't think it's going to be, by no means, what I think is it'll be a walk in the park.
The way you said it was like it was.
No, but I'm convinced that the Pacers will do it.
Double J did exactly. Stuck his chest. I stuck in 3 little chest hairs out in the screen. I got people watching talking about, ew. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. There you go.
Just because I do my push-ups every day and you don't, but I haven't used a cane, don't get on me.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something, bro. I eat bananas. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. Dot. I'm gonna let you leave. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't play with me. Mm. Yeah, it might be snow on the roof, but it's still fire in the furnace. Don't play me. Yeah. And on that note, we finna take another break. This boy done disrespected me. 2 times 5 is 18. That's what he trying to tell me. Crazy, C-razy. Boy, holla at your boy.
Cleaning the cracks on your pavement surfaces can take hours and be torturous on your body. Until now. Bicracky Weed Removal Tool was designed specifically to clean pavement cracks in a fraction of the time, all while standing up. Bicracky's patented design incorporates a 2-sided steel blade and is encased by a durable fiberglass shell. Simply use the large end to clean big gaps, then rotate and use the small tip for narrow gaps. Made in the USA, Bicracky eliminates weeds to the root and is environmentally friendly. Bicracky. Save your back while you clean your crack.
All right, we are back. I don't have no buttons. I'm telling you, I don't want to hit the wrong one, but I'll hit any one I can. This that. I like that button. Hey, right quick, we're gonna get the back. I want to touch on the WNBA right quick. Then we come back to the little Pacers thing, jumping off too, and talk more about the finals and potentials and why the Knicks look all of a sudden, like they maybe could be the first team in NBA history to come back from 9-0. You know what I mean? Like the Cavs in 2016 did something unprecedented. Shout out for that. You know what I mean? I don't have no button. But this whole Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark thing, right? Who made it a race issue? John Q. Public or the players?
John Q. Public.
Okay.
100%.
Because I got people that keep now. This conversation was a week ago, maybe I don't know, more than a week. And I got people behind the scenes that, I don't know why, what you just love Caitlin Clark or something like that or with that. I'm like, get out. What side of the bed? I said, who is in your cornflakes this morning? I said, I'm talking basketball. When I watch, let me say this again for all you folks because I invite these people, come on. Hey, come on this national televisionary program, you understand me? And say what you got to say. Oh, no. Yeah, I know you got a face for radio, but I do too, but that don't stop me. know what I'm saying?
Time out. Double J, don't you ever make that motion again on this show.
Don't you remember that to Rick James from Dave Chappelle?
Oh,
okay.
my
All
God.
right. My bad.
This
My
guy
bad.
right here is
My bad.
Rick
Yeah,
James.
my
Okay,
bad.
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Unity. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay, got you. My bad. I didn't know what that was. I was like, where are we going? All right, I got you. My bad. My bad.
I don't know where y'all going. I don't know where y'all going, but if we don't hurry and get through this show, I ain't gonna be able to go to bed. Okay, it's past my bedtime, 7:59, bro. I usually be knocked out. Anywho, I'm just saying. Racism is prevalent in this country. Okay, let's get real here for a moment. And it's at the root. The Detroit fan man, still not a WNBA fan, but that from the logo commercial was done right. I was going there, Detroit fan man. You stole my thunder. No pun intended, OKC. You stole my thunder. Get him off the screen, Detroit fan man. Okay, so you were trying to do, give me a pink slip? Because that's what you're doing. That was that right there. I mean, you can sit in this chair. Don't make me no never mind. Okay? I can rest these bunions. My feet hurt. Sorry, too much information. All I'm saying to you is it's prevalent in this country. It's at the root. Way before any of us was born, this thing was what it was, okay? And it's not going nowhere. But that don't mean that you don't stop trying to point it out when you see it. You get what I'm trying to say? Because when you expose it, people fade to black sometimes. Okay, but as far as eliminating, I don't think that's going to happen. But in the sports realm and world, we know that all of that come into play and whatnot. But my comments about Angel Reese had nothing to do with the fact that she black and Caitlin Clark is white. I'm talking basketball. Let me point that out to you, the folk that had something real foul to say, okay? I'm talking basketball. These two have the opportunity to do what Magic and Bird did for their respective league, period.
Yes.
Magic and Bird, the title was, Jackie McMullen's book, When the Game Was Ours. If Angel Reese get out of her and Caitlin, whatever they is, put that aside, it could be when the game is there. The game is theirs.
They could be after 20-something years, they could be the next step in the evolution of the growth of the WNBA, of women's professional basketball.
Hello,
women's sport. Because that's what's possibly at stake here. Like they can be the next elevator. Like, for example,
it's bigger than your attitude.
Yeah, it's bigger than that. And so then to make it about race. Let's put it in perspective. Like you said, racism will always be present in our culture, in Western culture,
society. Got
okay.
But it's all over the world, though, for real. America just more maybe highlighted because of it, I guess. Whatever what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
because we live here, right? Type of deal. Okay.
The opportunity to move beyond it is to bring back the idea that this rivalry has its roots in basketball and has its roots in.
Thank you.
Angela Reese was one of the top players in college, as was Caitlin. Caitlin being the darling of the tournament, getting all the magazine and profile covers. We understand the hint of what that could be, but at the same time, while all that was going on, Angela Reese was doing her thing in college, and in the pros, it's happening as well. She's continuing to do it. If we make it about basketball, the state of women's sports could be elevated
exponentially.
Right? It does a great service if we can do it. And so what we can look at is, let's remove the racial element from it, or let's not reduce.
Let that not be your first go-to.
Correct. Put it on the back
when you're having an
because
assessment.
You dissolve it, then it just becomes yet another racial issue that we who feel like we are disenfranchised because we are black is another reminder and another footnote and just another sad chapter in that story, versus let it be about basketball and let their attitudes and let their style of play and let their competitive nature speak more about the rivalry, and then let it be another.
And it fuels the rivalry. Because the thing about Magic and Bird, and this is why I so encourage and recommend people to read. Okay. Again, there's a book called When the Game Was Ours, written by Jackie McMullen. Used to be on Around the Horn once upon a time. She is so well written. Magic and Bird, they really did not like each other, bro. For real, did not like each other.
Right.
But it had nothing, Bird said, and Magic said the same thing, it had nothing to do with his color. It had to do with, what you mean somebody out there better than me? And y'all, I got the nerve to tell me or say it to me. You get what I'm trying to say? It was about basketball, bruh. Them dudes didn't really start building a, but they when I say they hated each other, I don't mean that in the literal sense. I mean, I'm talking about in the basketball sense, so to speak. But it was stemmed in respect for one another for real.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
When you have a rivalry, you have somebody that challenges how good you think you are yourself. Because if you are that guy, then you're gonna be able to beat him. And on the day that the guy that you like, nah, man, cold as he is, I'm better than him. And on the day that dude take your jersey with him when you leave, like, all right, hold on, we're gonna get right back and retool. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. I couldn't say it no better. Bird said, man, and that started with them, and that's a part of the reason why I say this Angel and Caitlin could be what them two guys were in terms of the impact for the league. It started in college. Go back and read up where Magic said prior to that NCAA championship, he went into the gym. He didn't know Bird was in there. Bird was already in there getting up shots.
Yeah.
So Magic being the gregarious personality that he is, and Bird being the farmer type French lick for real, like he had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to bale hay first before going to school and get to practice, you know, all that old type. But he was a more serene, more serious type of dude, you know, stone face, if you would, at times. Magic said, I went over to shake his hand. And he was like, I ain't shaking your hand. And they had nothing to do because you know, it was like, I'm about to play you tomorrow. I ain't your friend. You know what I'm trying to say? And Magic was like, oh, that's what we doing? So then come game time, prior to the tip off, Magic told the fellas in the circle, we get the tip, go down and dunk it. Don't you dare lay it up, he said. Whoever, he said, he said, when we get the tip, excuse me. He said, whoever get that, don't lay it up if you want to. I ain't getting, you not won't get an air pass with me tonight. He said, when you get to go down and dunk it. And why was he telling him that? Because he's sending a message to let Bird know, oh yeah, you don't want to shake my hand. Well, guess what? I got some hee. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Trickery. You know what I'm saying? That was a block shot. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was, Charles. Foul. Y'all seen that commercial? That's a pretty good commercial, too. Right. Yeah, but I'm with you, Detroit fan, man. That State Farm commercial. You know what I'm saying? It's the logo. It's the logo. But these two right here, man, they could galvanize because the person in particular, it was a lady. And the first thing everybody want to do, and trust and believe when I tell y'all this, I don't mind it. I just act like I do so I can have, because I be bored. You a hater. Oh, I love that. That's the only word in your vocabulary, apparently. But guess what? Because that's what it is. Because that's the first thing come out everybody's mouth. I said, she said, you just hating on her. Angel Reese, she a double. Okay. Where's the reverse pivot though? Where's the baby hook over the left shoulder and the right shoulder? Where's the free throw percentage? Where's the playing without the ball, run that baseline, curl up top, catch it at the foul line, mid-range? Where's that at? Where's that back to the basket? You see the double team coming, you throw over the top, or you hit the turnaround off the window. Where's that at in her game?
Right.
I didn't even say being a three-point shooter. I'm saying all of the other, being able to offensively utilize every aspect, especially of the floor, especially when in a half-court set. So when you turn the TV on and you watch Angel Reese from a basketball standpoint, what you tell me? And that's all I'm speaking to, man. I don't care nothing about that other stuff, bro. Even though I'm well aware that race is an issue. You know what I'm saying? So even though it is a thing, for me, it's not everything.
Correct.
Your character is your currency, and it comes before your color. Is how I was raised.
And if you, as a competitor, fall back into, oh, she just get the support just because that, and then rest on your laurels, instead of letting that be the thing to drive you to be better. then
Thank you.
Come on, man. The battle is lost.
Thank
and
you.
You let people win that shouldn't win.
Thank you. That's why I say the essence of the sport must be adhered to, regardless of era.
Right.
At the park, at the parquet, that was the old floor at the Boston Garden where Bird was doing his thing, and all points in between. When we on a hot summer day, well, not too hot, but hot enough to be outside playing, but not so hot that you're gonna stop playing.
Hot
and all
enough
the little
where the
cute little
water
girls
hole-
are standing around the court. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got the cuties out there now. Come on, you 12, you're 13 years old. She, you know what I mean? No, you coming out there and then you get, lambasted, and he out there hitting layups, you know what I'm saying, and pull fadeaways, and you're like, okay, yeah, I got embarrassed, but we handled rejection or embarrassment different than they do now. We was like, oh, if we use it as motivation. I'm gonna get
back to
mine.
the lab. Let me go work on that.
Thank you. I'm gonna get mine back. So the next time I go up there, he beat me again. Okay. Yeah. And I'm talking about I'm coming back. I'm coming back because I'm gonna get you. And then the day I get you, I run the risk of not being home before the streetlights came on.
Right.
But I got him. And I was running home, and my mama was halfway. She's like, hey, she had a 17 by 4. I don't even know if they make them. She had one. She was like,
Jim Duggan.
And I was like, hold up, mama. Let me talk to you for a minute. Let me explain it to you right quick. You know what I'm trying to say? You better get to talking fast because I got some cash for that. I said, I won. She was like, what? I said, I beat him. She said, okay, I'm going to give you a pass this time because I sent you out there in the world because you're going to have to deal with that. I ain't going to always be around. You know what I'm trying to say? And you're going to have to take that and apply it to everything else in life. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh, no. Oh, my son is 35. Let me do it for him. I'm just saying, do what? What? Is he ready to be out on his own? He got 2 kids. He was ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, listen, I'm just saying, man. I'm just listen here, bro. Get better at basketball, Angel. That's all I'm telling you. Because she's highly talented. You know what I'm saying? They won a chip over Caitlin in the chippy chip. Right. You know what I'm saying? So she got something on the resume.
Yeah.
But you got to get better at your craft, period.
She averages the double-double. What's the problem?
That's not the only aspect to the game is what I'm trying to tell you. She needs to add more repertoire. Let me put it like this in layman's terms. You own a house. You got a plumbing issue, right? Because we're talking about professionals. You call a plumber. He's listed because he's a professional. Now, you get a guy who pull up to your house and he get out the truck with a plunger. He ain't even looked at the job yet. He just get out with a plunger. Oh, this is a family. Oh, please. He get out the car with a plunger.
Right. You keep going off camera. Every time I look up, your eyes be like this, Double J.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That face right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Somebody must have took out the trash.
Yeah.
Without being asked. You know, it's like, woo, man, the benefits, the perks, boy, I tell you, in that household, man. What I'm saying, bro, he get out the truck with a plunger, and you, as a homer, you're like, what the? Or do you want the guy, when you call him, he come out and look at it, then go to the truck and figure out which one to get?
Right.
Which tool to use. If you ain't got but one tool, but you're a professional, that's how I see that. Get better at all the other aspects. Because let me say this, and I'm not comparing her to Clark. Excuse me for taking the flow. I'm just saying, I'm not comparing her to Clark, not literally. I'm comparing their aspects of the game. Is Clark a better three-point shooter? Is she better mid-range shooter? She better... She go down the list, bruh. Okay. Watching Angel, not rebound, but get me bounds. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm just saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? It hurt my eyesight sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I pity the fool. Get these Coke bottle bottoms off me, baby. I'm burning up the place. I'm burning it up. Let me see what the comments said. Oh, yeah, that's Miss Alva again talking about this is a family show. Really? That's what we doing here? Oh, my gosh. Like y'all ain't got kids. Y'all, you kill me. Anywho, back to this Pacers Thunders right quick. Then we're going to get on some of this Browns talk. And nobody can hear you.
Miss Alva come around.
Oh, now we can hear you.
Come in with the house rope without the belt.
Hey, listen, when I was hooping dough, they ain't call me Chocolate Thunder for nothing. Just saying.
Right.
Anywho, Pacers Thunders right quick. Is that going to be the finals, or is the Knicks somehow going to make history?
They got to go back and was it Conseco Fieldhouse is what it's called?
Well, you said that like you just got done watching the movie Hoosiers.
Well, wherever. They got to go back to Indiana and take care of business.
Okay, so it's over in 6. Is that what you're saying?
I think Indiana figured it out. I think this whooping today is going to be enough data for Indiana to figure out what they need to do and close this out in 6.
Double J.
I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you. Much as I think the Indiana gonna win it all, they don't want to have to go to a game 7 in New York.
Ooh. What you mean? They already won in New York, though.
They don't want to have to go back to a game 7 in New York.
I don't know, man. I still want to know, why do the Knicks look, the style of play looks different when Brunson is not in the game?
I've been saying this.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
I'm giving you credit.
I'm
trying to get your button.
I want to point something out here. That lead continued to grow with him off, and they were, the announcers at the time were saying, "Oh, this is great." That I think it was Stan Van Gundy. They're pointing out how you're able to give Brunson a significant break, and it wasn't a surprise to me that. Oh, who's kind of the culprits here? Well, sure, it was Cat, but Josh Hart.
Yeah.
And now, by no means am I saying in an 82-game season that I would prefer Josh Hart single-handedly operating, we'll say, without Brunson. However, there is a reason I selected to pretty much get a double-double every night.
Who, Josh Hart?
Absolutely. And when you see guys like who are more than capable, OG Anunoby.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that.
I feel like they put a.
But let me tell you what his problem is. He can hurt you too. But let me tell you what his problem is and what the Knicks as a whole look at times more often than they should. They everything is facing the basket. Everything. If I can see, it's when what do Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a Flemington to get hit in the nose, or basically in boxing it's the punch that you don't see coming. If I don't, as a defender, if I don't see you as an offensive player, if I got to chase you, and I got to run around all that makes it more difficult for me and more advantageous for you. But if you always in front of me, no matter where you moving at on the floor, you're helping me. I just don't understand it, bro. There's no drop in the Cat and then rotate so that if he gets in trouble with a double team, you can have somebody. How many times if you see, and this ain't just the Knicks, teams in general in the NBA, let's say they on the that side of the floor where the benches are, right? And a guy, your big man, is posting up on that side of the block. The guard will throw the ball into him from somewhere around that little corner at the free throw line. But instead of rotating not all the way to that corner, but rotating to put yourself more so because if the double comes over the players, let's say Cat, if it comes over his left shoulder, even though he already got a defender behind him, but here comes the double team from the left shoulder. If you're not in my line of sight, I have to turn to try to throw it over that second defender to get it back to somebody safely. But if you, the passer, rotate to my line of sight, I can give it right back to you. Now that second defender that came to me, he got to run to you, and you give it right back to me. Now I'm one-on-one. I'm just saying it's basketball one-on-one, bro. I just don't understand it, bro. You cannot get a lot of done what you're trying to do if everything you're doing is facing the basket. I'm just saying.
But how do you implement that? How do you get more of that with Jalen Brunson at the point? Because the reason the series is not done, honestly, is because of in game 3, they picked him up 94 feet.
They picked up who 94 feet?
The Knicks picked up the Pacers 94 feet in the final 6 minutes.
Well, I told you that. You start playing your defense on the back in the backcourt. That's where your defense should start. And you don't even have to be a press. Whoever the ball is inbounded to, flash, run across his face. Because what I want you to do, I want you to change directions if you got it in your hand. Because the more I get you to change directions as you're advancing with the rock, it's taking time off that shot clock.
Correct.
I want you with about 18 seconds on the other side when you get into your offensive set, because now you're going to rush.
Yep.
But you get on the other side with 22 seconds, that's an eternity. I'm just saying, bro.
Do you think, okay, they figured this out with, and I would actually recommend doing such a thing with Brunson out. You have to disrupt them and make them uncomfortable. And if they don't have the star there, they're going to defer for the most part. And if they are truly relying on Cat, then to suggest where he likes to stand at the perimeter and then work his way in, if you have a consolidated shot clock, that's going to potentially force him into either a contested three, which the Pistons showed when he was contested, the percentages were wildly different, and versus a driving layup that has been hit or miss, but certainly far more of a coin flip.
I'm gonna say this, bro. I've asked people to do this a million times. Pay attention to the footwork. Don't look at the dunks. Don't look at the three-point shots. Don't look at nothing going in the basket. Give yourself about 3 minutes of actual game time and look at nothing but footwork. Karl Anthony Towns' footwork is atrocious.
It's too slow for me. I can't stand.
That's why when he catch the ball at the top and he turned and put the ball on the floor, why are you not Rod Strickland? You're not. And then when he turns, he's usually too far away. You look how far he got to go to the basket. You're right. He's too slow to be getting it way out there. Huh?
Yeah. He's too slow and too far away.
And too far away to try to beat somebody off the dribble. Give it back. Now you can do that in anywhere below that the free throw line below. Then you can get a guy on your back and then turn and go, because it's 1 step, 2, bam, you're right there at the rim. When you got to come from Chicago all the way to California, man, 2-step Chet, I tell you. Look at his footwork. It's terrible, bro. It's terrible. It's terrible. So is Angel Reese's, by the way. I'm just saying.
Like you say, Akeem.
Bruh, footwork is the foundation in basketball, especially everything that you want to do. Like they say in boxing, everything work off the jab. In basketball, everything works off your footwork. Everything. Yeah. Everything. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to get into some of this NFL talk, as in particular, the Browns quarterback carousel. Because for whatever reason, the Browns 500 quarterbacks this season so far, they seem to be the talk of the town. You know, I mean, my gosh, I turned the radio on. I mean, I turned it on to I don't know, like some infomercial channel. And the guy cut the infomercial in half. Like, no, we want to talk about Shedeur Sanders throwing a tight spiral. Like, wait, you ain't going to finish the commercial? Anyway, we're going to get one and we're going to get through this sucker. That's what we finna do. We're going to take another break. When we come back, go Thunder and Pacers. That's the one I want to see. I'm just saying.
I'm Jordan Gudeman, and I'm the founder and CEO of Eddie G's Cookies. I was first diagnosed with a nut allergy when I was young. At the time, there weren't a lot of labeled items that said if there may contain nuts or there are nuts in the food, so my brother and sister and I baked a lot at home. And we enjoyed treats from mixes and things like that, but I noticed that it was not the same as what my friends were enjoying, and I started making my own recipes. When it was time to pick a career, I decided to start a bakery so I could share my treats with everybody else. When I started creating my recipe, I was taking in all the things that I thought I was missing out on. A soft, chewy center, a crisp outside crust, and a taste that is just like it came out of the oven at a bakery. When I put all those things together, I had come up with a recipe for a dream cookie. Eddie G's Cookies only uses the finest ingredients. We have all natural flavorings, no preservatives, and every cookie is made in a nut-free environment. The best part about Eddie G's Cookies is that they can be delivered right to your door. You can share them or not. We won't tell.
All right. EddieG'sCookies.com. Go there and place your order today. Or you can go up to Michigan and holler at Double J. I'm sure he got boxes up in there and somewhere in this place because I sure didn't get my other box. But anyway, I'm not gonna go. I'm a digressionize right now. And as far as sharing treats, I don't like sharing my treats. I'm just saying. The Browns quarterback carousel. Who wins? First off, do you all think will win, baby? Anybody there? Hello? Hey, who, and Double J? Nobody there? Okay, well, until one of y'all get back to respond and reply to that there, right there, I want to say this. I get it. Everybody can't wait for football because I've seen some posts on the book, 100 days until, and all that good stuff. I get it. We all excited for football, right? But the I don't know, I can't even say over usage, but just to keep seeing this, I get the overexcitement. All right. They showing it, they say Shador threw an 81-yard touchdown pass, and I don't know, I forget what point of the season the NFL is at. I think this is early OTAs or something to that effect. Whatever the case may be. Everybody's over enamored with whose pass is the prettiest or whatnot, okay? But on the flip side, I see a story about, or did you all see the story, of what the Titans are doing with Cam Ward in order to help him understand the whole psychological, the instruction, whatever you want to call it, to prepare him for his stint in the NFL. Bruh, the Titans are using the same technology that Jaden Daniels used to help him understand how to play in the position at the NFL. They're using that Oculus, whatever that thing is.
Better Quest now.
I don't, whatever it is. But I'm saying that to say, bruh, folks in the Browns, people, they talking about the Browns, they're getting overly excited about what? Tell me that somebody in the Browns organization is giving one of them young quarterbacks the Oculus or the MetaQuest. Now I'm impressed. And what these dudes is doing in shirts and shorts, bro, I had an NFL guy tell me, whoop-de-doo. He said it's when he said you get a guy in shorts, man, he look like a world beater, man. Everything, he got that touch, like Willie Masconi, he chalking up at the edge shot, you know what I'm saying? He all around the corner, 2 times off the side in the corner pocket. He doing all of that. He says when they put them pads on. He said, man, it was a dude one time in training camp. He had on the shirts and shorts. Man, the sports writers was writing all type of stuff down. And that same dude, when it was time to put them pads on, it was where's Waldo? He couldn't find this dude. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear about the Browns quarterback carousel and who should start. But I'm gonna tell you like this though. I think Shador, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm biased. I want to see him ball out. I do. Okay. But bias aside, just football talk, man, I think Shador was a throw-in, bro. I think
what you mean throw-in?
I think okay, so because like
what you mean by throw-in?
I mean, I think they drafted him as an afterthought type of deal. Remember, we kind of talked about that, like, all right, man, like stop begging. You know what I'm saying? Or like,
yeah.
Because does he really have a chance to win the job, bro? Who's getting all the reps right now? And then the closer you get to when, the bullet, well, that's the one thing I say about football. And I really don't like to make the inferences or references, and I don't mean nothing against the veterans and stuff who fought for this country or whatnot. When I say when the bullets get to flying, it's just an expression. You know what I mean? But when it come time for game time, you done split the reps between 17 different dudes. So in other words, I get it. You all are excited for football. But don't make it seem like a guy throwing a spiral, like, oh, like he and I ain't saying him because they said the same thing about Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco and all whole nine, whatever it is. What I'm looking for the guy who is quickest to learn how to play from under center. Can you come up under that center and turn your back to the defense and then relocate in less than 10/10 of a second?
When John Gruden, that infamous John Gruden quote, when he calls out that play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Come on,
Who
come on,
understands that, and who can make that type of decision with the understanding?
Because let's be real now. Let's be real. Okay. Shador and Gabriel, they played a lot in shotgun in college.
Right.
Okay. At the NFL, especially you playing for the Browns and you the starting quarterback for the Browns in December.
Yeah, ain't no shotguns coming.
Bruh, you're gonna have to get up under that center and call out 55 is the mic. 55 is the mic.
Right.
Kill. Red right 88. Red right 88. Z65 power trip.
Don't say red right 88. Don't say
bro.
red
I'm just
right
saying.
88.
I want
Don't
you to
say
relive
that.
them.
Why would you say that one? Why would you?
Oh man, this dude right here, man. But yeah, I want to see somebody that can play up under that center because, bro, that's not easy to do. You come from up in the center and you doing a bootleg or you doing a play action and you got to turn around. By the time you turn back around and facing everything, bro, you listen. We all
face
drive.
mask might be in your chin,
bro. We all drive, right?
Right.
How many? And I know everybody watching. And shout out again to the viewers. You know what I'm saying? The folks is with us, whatever. I don't know which button I'm gonna hit because I want to give y'all the right kind of button. So I'll give you a salute. You know what I'm saying? Stand in the pocket with us for this long duration. Yeah. Well, no, I ain't gonna do that either. But we all drive. Everybody's watching and tuning in, and the folks here, we all drive, right?
Right.
How many times have you been on the freeway, bro, and look in your rearview mirror and don't see nary car for 172,000 miles? Look down to just change the radio or whatever, and look up, it's 400 cars. And it wasn't no on-ramps. I'm just saying.
Right.
Bruh, when you're an NFL quarterback, and I ain't saying it because like I ever played the position. I just know what I seen guys who did what the ones who wasn't good at it versus the ones who was. When they came from up under center and turned their back and then when they turned before turning their back, wasn't nobody there. Right. They turn back around, bro. It's the team they playing against defenses on them. The 2-3 teams that they gonna be playing the next following weeks, they defense was there too. Like, God dang, where all y'all come from? And with all of that, you still got to locate the dude running the dig route, the dude running the post corner, the back on the wheel route, and you got to find who do you go to in that moment when it's 3rd and 7 and it's a minute 14 left in the game, but the AFC Championship on the line. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so for all y'all keep sending me this stuff to my man, you think his passes is pretty? For real, bro. It's just a lot of stuff I get, man. I don't even bring to the forefront. I show my sons. I'll be like, man, look at this. Is this me? In their 20s, they be like, yeah, he crashing out, Dad. Okay,
all right.
I'm just saying, bro. Show me the quarterback that can do that. In other words, if you're gonna ring my phone, tell me, yeah, he able to do that. Or he can command a huddle.
Got you.
You get what I'm trying to say? Because there's going to be times you're going to have to huddle up. And I ain't saying he's going to be no Joe Montana, none of them. I don't know what Dylan Gabriel going to be, or I don't know what Shador going to be. I don't know. Well, Deshaun Watson, we know he ain't going to be. Sorry, therapist. You know, and then, Joe Flacco. And then who's the other guy? Anybody that they're going to offer a contract to?
Dylan Gabriel.
Oh, Kenny Pickett. Oh, yeah, got you. Yeah, okay, yeah, right, yeah, Pickett, yeah. The only thing Kenny looked like he should be doing is picking up trash off the side of the highway. All right, from his community service program. But we're gonna see, bro. I don't, and I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. I do not trust the folks who doing the grocery shopping in that organization. Told y'all, man, for years. I want to see him do good, but I learned early on, bro. When you're dealing with the Browns, bro, you better get a long handled spoon. You better stir that cauldron from way up here. You understand what I'm saying? You get too close to that, bro, you're gonna get burnt. Okay, I'm just saying. Y'all tell me, man. Am I T ripping? Am I C razy? How about your boy? No.
What's going on with the articles, however, about him
they
being
tainted. They got to be careful which ones you read. What'd you see?
I'm talking about Mary Kay kind of suggesting that, the obvious, right? Playing along the lines of, well, there's 5 quarterbacks on this roster.
I just gave you my take. I don't know what to take from it. It makes no... Okay, if 1 + 1 = 2, since the offseason, or last season when the Browns traded all they put coaches, And up to now, tell me, make some sense out of it. See what I'm saying?
I get it that they drafted the guy that they wanted, right? Which clearly was Gabriel.
So wait. Stop right there. That goes right. If that's the guy that they wanted, and you look at him, now I'm questioning who it is that's looking. You get where I'm going with that? Like
100%. But to your question, original question, who should be the day one starter?
I don't know.
Well, no. Here, I'm going to make this very simple, right? Because there's only a handful of legitimate options, which is the first of which is who Haslam wants, which very well could be.
Well, if it's different from who the guys who coaching it want, then it ain't, and I don't care how many you got, it ain't gonna work. Everybody, let me reiterate and remind. And I thought it was so on point. Tony Dungy said in his book, Quiet Storm or Quiet Strength, I can't remember the whole title, when building the Buccaneers, and then when he went over to the Colts and whatever the case may be, he was talking in particular about draft picks. Because, so much emphasis placed on the guy being picked in the first round, and all that type of stuff versus the fifth round and whatever. He said, any pick can be a hit or miss, regardless of when and where picked. He said, the key to a successful draft is, do you have the front office or the structure in place, or the folks who understand how to minimize the risk? Do you think that the Cleveland Browns have that? Because I tell you what, going back to what the Titans are doing with Cam Ward, what better way to help your quarterback that learning curve and get the expediency with it? What better way? You see what Jaden Daniels did, right, and the methods in which he used to become what he is, because he don't look like no one-hit wonder.
Right.
So, like, hey, go get that Oculus quick. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, they talking about who had the prettiest spiral. That's what's most important. All right.
Right. In practice, in short.
In practice. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And that's all that you see. Every time I go to Facebook, it's somebody that posted a video. Jerry Jeudy was mic'd up. Oh, hey, shout out to Jeudy and all of that. But then they keep showing videos of the Browns quarterbacks throwing these spirals in practice. So what does that mean in a grand scheme? Excuse me. That means what? That spiral is going to, okay, so maybe it'll cut through the wind in December down in Cleveland. All right. But I mean, does that translate to winning a Super Bowl? 10 games, 12 games? No. What the Titans are doing with Cam Ward, I would lean more towards that translating to success than watching pretty spirals. I'm just saying, bro. This is ridiculous. That's my word. Ridiculous.
That was the part that I was trying to have somebody make it make sense, right? The article comes out, states one thing, like Shador is going to be cut tomorrow, and won't even make it out of OTAs. Then the Browns social media shows him putting the ball right in the perfect spot, and it's like an hour ago.
Okay, so here's the thing: we know they're not keeping 5. Because NFL roster limits and such, right?
Well, right. But here's my thing. Like the obvious that's being forgotten is Deshaun Watson is one of the 5. And he himself is going on injured reserve, physically unable to perform for the entire year. He can pound sand if he wants to come back. Too bad. That's not enough.
Okay, so it's 4. But now here's the thing.
So I just made it easier for you.
Are they propping one of those guys up to jettison them? And let's say hypothetically, let's say Shador or I don't care. Let's say it's Pickett, Shador, or Dillon. In other words, they play, hey man, this guy, man, he really looking good. I love his work. Okay, so what you're trying to do is maybe get some other teams to bite. But if Pickett is the guy in question, then what did you go get him for in the first place? If you knew you were going to draft the guy or you were going to get a quarterback in the draft and you end up getting the guy that you wanted in the 48th round.
Yeah. With Brock Purdy, remind me, how many games into the season before he became the starter?
I don't know. But I know he had a lot to do with them getting on the doorstep.
Well,
call him a game manager if you want. He had a lot to do with them getting on the doorstep, bro.
Well, no. What I'm pointing out is, obviously he was the 7th round pick. He was Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh, that's right. 252.
Yep. So he is, outside of Brady, the more recent exception of someone that otherwise like would not have been pegged as a day one starter based on where they were drafted.
Okay.
But found themselves in that role rather quickly because we've talked about allowing like what we're seeing in Atlanta.
Wait a minute. Okay, so
letting some of these guys, like there has probably been, I don't have any data to truly support this. I just know the data for early round picks and how unsuccessful they've been.
Was Purdy forced, not forced, but yeah, forced, kind of forced in action? Wasn't Alex Smith still there when he first got there? I'm taking a stab. I'm not sure.
No, it was the guy who's in Dallas right now as a backup, Trey Lance.
Whoa, whoa. Trey Lance was a starter? I mean, who did Brock Purdy supplant, so to speak?
Garoppolo.
There you go.
Oh, Jimmy G. I don't know. Based on the San Francisco 49ers performances, period, all right? Would you was I can't even get it out. Dang. Is Purdy better than what Garoppolo was?
Clearly he was.
Okay, so then so are you, and I don't know, I'm just asking you all. So is it sort of like a Russell Wilson, Matt Flynn sort of thing is what they saw in San Francisco? That's why they didn't have no problems with Garoppolo? They saw they were like, oh, this dude balling right here. Because Russell Wilson.
It's a matter of not only is there a contrast, but then there's also the part that not only is he better than our starter, but he's actually better than that. Get what I'm saying? Like
better than 252.
Yeah, better than 252. Right.
Okay, I got you. All right. Okay, I got you.
All right, so I'm gonna throw this out there. This is off of Reddit. First round rookie quarterbacks who sit most of their first year have been 50% more likely to hit. And by definition, again, hit is referred to 2+ Pro Bowls or an 80+ Pro Football Focus grade, sitting in association with a 27% point increase in hit likelihood. The hit rate among non-sitters is 39%. So basically, why I'm pointing this out is now we do have something tangible to suggest that the Jordan Love type, right? That or the gentleman now in Atlanta who got thrown in there into the mix. And then,
but Double J, but a lot I don't think what the data shows you is it's who is the teacher. Because you can sit a guy for a year. Because if you sit a guy for a year, because there got to be some cases a guy sat for a year and didn't pan out. And I'm not saying because it could be a Jamarcus Russell type, and even though he didn't sit out, I'm just saying you could send him home with some tapes and he don't watch them. So he still got a responsibility as a player. But what I'm saying is, if the student is having trouble with information, at what point you look at the teacher? Bernie Kosar, he was a dog in Miami now. Shout out to the U, you know what I'm saying? Rohan Marley, Thumper, and all them boys, Ray and all them, you know what I'm saying? Ed Reed and whatnot. But he had Gary Danielson.
Well, but here's another interesting fact about what I'm trying to point out, Barbershop Jay, is the fact of draft position beyond just in terms of seeing the field and having to see the field and the urgency to get on the field, not from the player, but a combination of the fans as well as ultimately circumstance. And so in the past 20 years, this was almost 10 years ago now, no quarterback selected in the first round had sat out their entire rookie season. Again, we finally...
Well, that's the pressure from being drafted in the first round.
Correct.
Though.
And this is
you're going to play that guy whether you're ready for him to play or not.
Right. So hearing this nonsense of Shedeur Sanders needs to start day one or who's going to start, quite frankly, it should be Joe Flacco's job to lose. And it shouldn't even be, Shedeur should not even be in consideration for that. And the reason why is so he can actually learn this crap and for the longevity of his career without the pressure that we'll see how homeboy does in Tennessee, right? There's a reason why he's replacing somebody that was drafted very early.
Right.
Already.
Okay, that's how quick this NFL stands for not for long, people.
No,
Like,
that's fair.
How frequently do we forget that?
That's fair. That's fair. I can't. Yeah, well, I can't argue that. I can't argue that. I'm with you. But see, again, so if Dylan was the guy you wanted, what did you draft Shador for? If it's Joe Flacco, see, what you said made sense. What the Browns are doing doesn't.
No,
Well,
the Browns are doing.
I believe you guys are understanding some turmoil that's taking place. Go ahead, Belly.
What'd you say?
It's indicative of the perpetual problem.
Yeah,
exactly. But that's what it is. That's what it is. It's like, man, like they keep making it complicated for themselves continually, decade after decade.
Yeah, because I had an issue. Let's go back a few clicks now. When Randy Lerner, well, see, once again, I got to refer to a book I read. Terry Pluto, Cleveland.com, former Cleveland Plain Dealer sports columnist. He writes for other columns and stuff too. Wrote a book called False Start. And what the Browns do, man, it's almost like, because I couldn't understand when Randy Lerner, let me say it this way, when Randy Lerner, when he sold the team, bro, do you know what he said? He said, I basically couldn't wait to get rid of, I couldn't wait to sell them. He said, the only reason I kept the Browns for as long as I did, which was about 10 years, I believe, he said, because I made a promise to my father, Al. May he rest. Because he had a soccer team, Aston Villa or something or another. That's right. Where he was. Yeah. He said, I was just, you know what I mean? So when he sold the Browns to Haslam, and these are during the years when they was going 2-14, and you know what I mean, wasn't worth, the season was over after the first week type of deal.
Right.
It was worth $1 billion. So layman's terms here, help me, people. You as a consumer, go to the store, purchase a product, get the product home, see that it ain't what you get your money, and you go buy it again and again and again.
Maybe
and
this
again.
one will work. Maybe that one will work. Maybe this one will work.
And again, right. You keep right. You know what I'm trying to, and then
40 times over.
Yeah. And then mind you, they tell you, you like that chip, and you looking there, wasn't no chips in the bag. But you had seen a warning that said, hey, stop buying that brand chips because they're not putting chips in the bag. But you go buy it anyway, and then keep buying it and keep buying it. I just don't understand it, bro. I don't understand. And people, of course, they want to, oh, you hating on the Cleveland. No, I'm telling you the T-roof. Okay. Right. That's what I'm doing here. All right. 1 + 1 = this ain't Common Core math now. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, why keep investing in a stock that you know is not doing nothing what you need? It ain't paying no dividends, and you knew before you put your money in that you wasn't getting in. I'm just trying to say, bro. I'm just trying to say, yeah, okay. Anyway, on that note, we finna get up out of here. I'm just saying, bro. Oh, lastly, right quick before we do before we do end the show. Yeah, we're going to end the show here. I just seen something said Major League Baseball is getting ready. What's that? Double Jake.
This is
Double J. Now you know I got glasses on and can't see. What you doing?
Right,
you need to see me look up.
Right, no wait. Games 2 through 8, 9 through 16, year 2, year 3, year 4. Here's their completion percentage, yards per average, touchdown percentage. Basically, all of the data. And again, obviously, as you pointed out, Barbershop Jay, there's the difficulty in this is because of all those different systems, right? And such circumstances that these guys are facing.
I don't know if it has a place, but think about a quarterback that you draft early, and in less than 10 weeks, he got 17 different coordinators. Does that factor into some of this?
But here's the thing. In almost every category, the group of players that took over in year 3 performed the best.
Because by that time, but remember I said that a long time ago when Brother Rich was a regular, still part of the P program, of course, but I'm talking about showing up on the screen. I said, bro, we really don't know what a guy will be or won't be, man, to at least 2 years out. You really don't. Because maybe even 3 years, maybe he can figure it out in spite of bad coaching. You get what I'm trying to tell you? Or
No,
bad
no.
instruction?
Look, again, think of, we're going to use Baker Mayfield as the example.
I knew that's what you. I knew that's what you're
Well,
trying
we
to
have
do.
to, because again,
No.
he had multiple coordinators in Cleveland.
Well, of course he
and
did.
then he himself had to bet on himself.
Yeah.
In order to give him another shot, he was that close to being out of the league altogether.
Well, I don't know if he was. No,
No,
bro.
he himself had said it. That was my only option.
bro. No. Quarterbacks get, they get recycled. He probably would have been on 15 different teams if it didn't work. But here's again, too, though, about him. Okay, I get you. You got a point, right? But even when in Tampa, bro, he balled out for Tampa. He put up numbers. But in the moments that really, bro, you can't keep turning the ball over.
Right.
And that has been a problem even when in Cleveland. As is the case with Joe Flacco. Flacco, hey, he was lightning in a bottle, and I'm glad they brought him back. See, this is what I mean. We talking about the Browns team. Why did you let him go to Indianapolis for $10?
Right.
Why let him get away to bring him back? That's the Lakers do that. The Lakers go get Westbrook and know that he don't fit what they do, but go get him anyway. The Lakers go get D'Angelo 15 times and get rid of him 18 times. The Lakers do that kind of stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? It's too cold here to be acting like LA. Just saying, bro. Anywho, Major League Baseball, lastly, before we get on out here, Major League Baseball, if I saw that right, they getting ready to fund a women's professional softball league?
Bad. Oh, about time, man.
Bring back the Akron Racers, bro.
Yes. Oh my God.
Look them up.
We sit there every year, every springtime. We sit there and watch, because it's a lull in all the professional sports. There's no football, and basketball is what it is, and people not really tuned in, even until the playoffs, until the NBA finals. You have all these you have a gap of sport, of basically a lack of a
something to watch.
Well, you have major fan bases. To say it right,
got
you. The NBA got a major fan base, regardless of its numbers, compared to the NFL, of course, compared to the NHL. There is a gap there, and at the same time, anytime it's college softball, you see how competitive that is, right? And I always felt a sense of empathy, because I'm like, man, we love them during the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? We love it then. But then what happens in like every 4 years? You know what I'm saying? So how many legacies, how many great sports stories are we missing out on because we don't have a dedicated avenue to watch women's professional sports, right?
No,
For me, I'm gonna tell you, women's professional sports, I like it because I don't come to any professional sport of a woman expecting the same game as the man's game. It's not going to be as fast, like basketball, for example. It's not going to be as fast. It's not going to be as tough and intense. I'm not watching.
Yeah, but it's got to be this. It's got to be fundamental.
That's exactly what it is. And so you see it.
And the women's game on the hoop side is much more fundamentally played than is the men's.
And genetically, everybody's getting better anyway. Everybody's growing anyway. So we're seeing a lot more. We're seeing a dunk be more common in the women's game, right? And then we're seeing more of that intensity being a part of the women's game. It's not dainty and delicate or whatever. None of it. Not that it ever really was.
I'm about to say, I don't think it ever was that.
Yeah, like Cheryl Miller. You know what I'm saying? But point is, women's softball, professional softball league. Oh man, it'd be great to have a pro sports story, in softball.
But like I said, man. Well, first of all, women's softball and volleyball are my two favorite sports. Just saying. Second of all,
y'all, we gotta run. Check us out,
bro. It's an intensity, bro. What you saying? Competitiveness.
I've certainly been watching the SEC tournament.
Hey, you can't say that. You about to be on the couch again, bro.
You know what? Women's tennis is my favorite sport. The intensity.
Okay, well, I mean, to me, we all make choices.
The volume down.
Yeah, for real. Women's tennis. Yeah, right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, get you a line judge. How about that?
Yeah,
I'm just saying, bro. But I'm telling you again, the Akron Racers, bro, I used to go to their games. If all y'all out there, if anybody that's out there in the softball, go look up the Akron Racers, bro. They got a resume like the 88 '89 Celtics.
Yeah,
They got
now,
a dress.
it'd be great to see. Hey, just like for that matter, there's a woman. She's opened up a franchise of sports bars that only play women's sports.
Whoa, really? Whoa, what happened?
Yeah. Now I would be here
wonder
for
who
it.
went out of business. I'm just
Well, coincidentally, turns out Hulk Hogan and his beer company is looking to purchase those.
Purchase that whole line.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got to stop him. We got to get a Powerball. I know you don't play the lottery barbershop. Man, we cannot let him do that. We cannot let him do that.
Well, that's the Hulkster. So I mean,
let the Hulkster do it. No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get on the phone, place a couple calls, a couple folks, maybe call the Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? See what he can do for us or whatnot. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, but for real though,
there's no selling and pushing his beer.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Junkyard Dog, Nikita Koloff, the Iron Sheik, Roman Reigns,
you gotta come on to one of our Turnbuckle broadcasts.
Randy Macho Man Savage. Those are my favorites, and that's for the Turnbuckle. By the way, make sure y'all check out the Turnbuckle. What is it? Every Monday? Is it on the 8th day of the week or what? What?
Every leap year.
Okay, every leap year. But anywho, on that note, I'll leave you with this quote: "A man's glory from his virtue is greater than the glory of his pedigree." Let me read that again. A man's glory from his virtue is greater than the glory of his pedigree. How about that? And on that note, it's been fun, but we got to run. Don't forget to check us out every Thursday at 9:30 on the PM side, right here on the Yard. Or y'all can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the shop's fan page, and of course, on the YouTube side, right? And when you're over there, if you change that, bro, okay, bro, that's it. Yeah, you getting the pink slip, bro. I'm sick of this. You making me dizzy over here, man. I'm too old for that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm the disclaimer. I'm the warning thing. They be talking to me when you turn that PlayStation on. They be talking to me like, "Hey, disclaimer, like if you be bothered by bright lights and moving objects all of willy-nilly." Anyway, for my dudes, Be Rich, Double J, D Gully, and all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. And when we come back next time, God willing, he won't. That one across the room over there, Mr. Cameraman.
One? You pointing at everybody.
I'm pointing at the camera.
You pointing at the cameraman.
Man, get on out of here, man. I'm at the cameraman. Where's Dennis Rodman at when you need him? I'm out. I'll let you.